Hi students, this is Sheikh Majid. Welcome to the session on electric field due to continuous charge distribution. In this class, we see why we are going to learn about continuous charge distribution, what is the necessity, where we are going to apply this concept, what is mean by charge density and its types. Alright, shall we go? Okay. We know that electric field due to system of charges is given by E is equal to summation, sorry, I write again, E is equal to summation, for example, N is equal to 1 to infinity KQN divided by Rn squared Rn cap. We have studied this. Similarly, we used the superposition principle to find total force between the many charges to one charge, that is given by F is equal to N goes to 1 to infinity Q1 Qn divided by R1 N square R1 N cap. This and all we studied. But these two equations are applicable only if we have the charges are point charges. Only for point charges this concept is applicable. Second thing is, these equations are applicable only if we have discrete system of charges. We must know what you mean by discrete system of charges and continuous charges. I give you one simple way to find whether the distribution is discrete or continuous. You ask the question whether the quantity is measurable or countable. If the answer is measurable, then it is continuous charge distribution. If the answer is countable, then it is called discrete. For example, we ask whether the population of the world is measurable or countable. It is countable, not measurable. Why? Even though the count is too big, that is around 6.5 to 7 billion, we can still count. So it is discrete. Suppose if I ask, can you measure the temperature or count the temperature? You say that you are going to measure the temperature in the city or room. Even though the range is from 30 degree to 40 degree in normally our state, but the values it takes lies between 30 and 40 is infinity. It may be 30.11111 or 30.0007 or 36.9999, anything. Any value in between 30 and 40. We have infinite number of values. You cannot count. You can just measure. So this is the question we have to ask. Right? So these two equations are falling under the category of discrete system of charges. That means only finite. Right? That is measurable. But in real-time applications such as if you want to find the electric field in a conducting wire or capacitor plate, there you cannot use these two equations, because even though the object is very small, for example our wire or capacitor plates, we know that in small area we are having infinite number of charges. So those things are coming under the category of continuous charge distribution, right? So whenever you see the wire or cable in your home or anywhere, the charge distribution in that is continuous, because we have so many atoms, so many charges, that is measurable, you cannot count. So at that time what we are going to do to find the electric field, there only we are going to use the concept of continuous charge distribution. When the charge distribution is continuous, how to find the electric field, that is the thing we are going to learn today, right? So for that, let us take one irregular charged object, right? So here what we are, so it contains infinite number of charges. So directly we cannot find use superposition principle directly, that is finding E due to charge 1, charge 2, charge 3, like that. What we are going to do instead is, we are going to divide this irregular charged object into small area. with the minimum number of charges. Let us assume this area contains del q1 charges, this area contains del q2, this area contains del q3, like that del qn. We are dividing this into n small area, right? So we want to find what is the electric field at this point P due to this charge distribution. So let us assume the distance between del q1 and P is r1, del q2 and P is r2, del q3 and P is r3, right? So what is the electric field at this point? It is due to the, if suppose if I divide it into n set, so it is due to the sum of electric field. First I do, then I will tell you when we are going to some other concept. So as per the superposition principle, what you do initially, total electric field is due to the sum of individual electric field. So what we are going, this is approximate value, not ideal value, because we are splitting into small area. So we know that E is equal to kq by r squared. K is, we know that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, right? So first one, electric field due to del q1. What is the distance between del q1 to point r1? So r1 squared, r1 cap. Then we add a second one. Second one is 1 by 4 by epsilon naught. What is del q2 divided by r2 square, r2 cap. Like that we can add and we can go up to del qn divided by rn square, rn cap. Yes or no? So we know that. So that is E is equal to E due to del q1, E due to del q2 up to del qn, right? Okay, so now what is the thing is, this del qn is a small area, but in real time we cannot take even this much area also. We have to take a small, this area should tends to very small. What is that? 0. 0 means not exact, nothing. 0 means here we are going towards 0. That means it is very small. If area is made very small, what you get ultimately? Tell me. Suppose let us take this is circle. If you make this very small, it will become point. Suppose let us take square. If you take this very small, it will become point. So any area, if you make it very small, it will ultimately become point. So like that, if you take so many areas, ultimately I get all the points and I can add it and find the total electric field due to those area at point P. This is the concept. So what I am going to do is I am going to convert or make del q tends to 0. So when del q tends to 0, the distribution becomes continuous. Yes or no? When you take del q1, del q2, del qn, it is discrete because we are able to count. When del q tends to 0, we are taking infinite, so it will become continuous. So what is the thing? When we are having continuous parameter, we cannot use summation. Instead, we have to use integration. So the equation becomes E is equal to integral k, instead k we can write as q by 4 pi, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into dq by r squared r cap, right? How I have written? Because what is the total? I am writing this as summation of k into del q1 by r1 square, like that we can write. Yes or no? This we have seen in the superposition of electric field. The total gives summation. So when you go for a continuous, summation becomes integration. So I am writing E is equal to integral 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r squared r cap. So this integration says that your charge distribution is continuous. Clear or not? So how I got, instead of del q, why I substitute dq? Del q is some big value. When it becomes very small, what happens? It is becoming dq. dq means very small area. Del q is somewhat big area. Big means not big, somewhat countable. It is very small, that is point. So dq refers point, del q refers area, like that you can count. So electric field due to discrete charge distribution is, continuous charge distribution is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, constant I take outside, dq by r squared into r cap. This equation is very, very important. This equation only we are using in real time to find the electric field, not summation equation. Yes, hope you understand this. Clear? Now we will go there. Okay, now what we are going to do? Now we will take the charge distribution in a particular length or particular surface or particular volume, continuous charge distribution. Let us take one line or conducting wire. Total charge in this wire is capital Q, but I told it is continuous charge distribution. Conducting wire or plate has continuous charge distribution. So we cannot find the answer directly. Instead, what we have to find in order to determine electric field, we divide the area into small. Here in this length, I am dividing into small area, small length. Clear or not? So I bring the concept of charge density. Now, what is charge density? We know that population density. What is population density? Population per particular area or region. Similarly, charge density is charge in particular area. Here we are having length. So this line I am having, so I call it as linear charge density. Linear. Linear charge density, I give the symbol lambda, that is given by charge per length. Population density, population per area region. Charge density, charge per area, but here we are having length, so charge per length. So lambda is specifically allocated for linear charge density. What is the unit? Charge. What is the unit of charge? Coulomb. Right? What is the unit of length? Meter. So lambda has unit of coulomb per meter. Clear? So what we are going to do? First, I find what is the charge, what is the electric field due to this point. I find. Then I find what is the electric field due to this point. Then I find what is the electric field due to this point. Like that, I divide into small area. Find the individual electric field, then integrate it. That is the concept we are going to use in real life in when you want to find electric field in conducting wire, like that. Clear? So lambda is equal to C by L. Right? So what we are going to have, lambda is equal to C by L. That is okay. Now we will go to one more concept. But what is the thing? C is equal to Q by L. What is C is equal to? Lambda is equal to Q by L, not C by L. C is charge, that also you can use. Otherwise, you use Q also. Both are telling the same meaning. Q means charge. Right? So Q implies total charge in the whole wire. But what we are going to do, we are going to find the electric field at a particular region where the charge is dq. Here, let us write, here we have a charge of dq1, small I told, no? Similarly, this is having a total charge of dq2. This is having total charge of dqn. Right? So Q is talking about total charge. What we want is dq. So if it is small area, dq means this L will come here, no? Is equal to lambda, but L is total length. But what we are going to have, small area, that length let us assume at dl. So lambda q dq is equal to dl. It is full charge, it is full length. This is charge and particular length, so we are taking that particular length only. Anyway, it is charge per length only, right? This dq is charge, dl is small length. This is smallest amount of charge in the particular region. So dq is equal to lambda dl. Now we substitute in the general equation. What is the general equation? E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral dq. Instead of dq, we substitute lambda dl by r squared into r cap. Right? Where I got this equation, right? In this equation, it is general equation for line charge EL. Instead of dq, we substitute lambda dl. So for to mention linear charge density, you substitute EL also, no problem. So this is the electric field due to linear charge density. Clear or not? Similarly, we find electric field due to surface charge density. This concept is used in capacitor. Let us take on some plate. Clear. So here also charge distribution is continuous. Instead of finding the total charge, let us assume total charge is Q. I cannot find electric field due to total charge. I divide into small area. Let me divide this into small area d. Here dq is a small amount of charge. Total charge is dq, sorry, q. This area contains only dq. The area, let me call as small area dA. Total area is A. So surface charge density, now we define, it is having a symbol sigma. Sigma refers surface charge density, don't forget. So charge density, charge per unit area, because it is surface. So charge per area. Length means charge per length. So what is the unit? Simply you can find now, right? Because what is the unit of charge? Coulomb. What is the unit of area? Meter square. So surface charge density sigma has unit of coulomb per meter square, right? So this is for total. For small, first you bring q is equal to sigma a. If you take only, this is for total charge, total area. If I take only this part, what is the answer I get? dq sigma dA. Yes or no? So for smallest charge area, so we are having sigma dA. Now what is the electric field due to surface charge distribution? Let us write as ES. As usual, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral. Numerator we are having dq, right? Why? You see general formula, we are having dq. What is dq for surface charge density? dq is sigma dA. So write that sigma dA by r squared into r cap. Clear or not? Simple one. Similarly for volume, what you do? There I assign rho for volume charge density. So it is again charge per volume. Yes or no? Volume charge density. So what is charge unit? Unit of charge is coulomb. Volume unit is meter cube. So rho is allocated for volume charge density and it is having a unit of coulomb per meter cube. Clear? Simple logic. So similarly we know what is that? Q is the right. Q is equal to rho V. This is for total volume. Let us assume this is the volume. Right? I cannot find a charge for whole area. I divide into small area. Total volume is V. Total charge is Q. But small area has volume of dV has charge of dq. So dq has rho dV as a factor. Clear or not? So this is for particular area in the total volume. So now what is my E due to volume charge density? EV is equal to as usual 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integral. Instead of dq, we write rho dV divided by r squared into r cap. So these three equations are very important equation. Let me solve some problems based on this equation later class. Right? So this is what we have to understand in this class. Right? Please don't forget the wonderful examples. Clear or not? So again I tell you one more point. Suppose right, we take dq for linear charge density. dq is equal to lambda into dl. Again you see q is charge, so it is unit of coulomb. Lambda is line charge density or linear charge density. We know the unit is coulomb per meter. What is the unit of length? Meter. So you see meter cancel, left hand side is equal to right hand side. Simply you can remember dq is equal to lambda dl. Similarly, we know for surface charge density dq is equal to sigma dA. What is the unit of the charge? Sigma coulomb per meter squared. Area again meter square. You see again meter square cancel, left hand side, right hand side. So equation is correct. Similarly, dq for volume charge, rho dv. We know dq is coulomb, rho is coulomb per meter cube, dv meter cube. So meter cube cancel, left hand side is equal to right hand side. So the equation is correct. So even though if you forget, use the formula to find the unit. If you have no unit, you can find the formula. It's very simple, right? That's all about this session. I have given some questions for testing your understanding. Please try to answer this question in comment section. We will discuss the answer. If you are having any doubt also, you can ask me in comment section. I will be happy to solve all your problems. Thank you.